Welcome back to the Two Blues podcast and to our weekly live week roundup. We do a live stream every Tuesday. It's no longer Tuesday, it's Two Blues Day. And I am, of course, joined by my co-host, Mr. C Money Picks, to talk not just everything Chelsea, not just everything Premier League, but today we're honing in. Normally, this is a general conversation, but breaking news. We have to address it. Mykhailo Mudryk has been accused of doping by the FA. I believe he has been suspended immediately. There's going to be a long fallout to this, whether he did it, whether he don't. We'll get into it this episode. Mr. C Money. It's been a long week. And another, Mudryk aside, another excellent week for Chelsea. Before we get into it, the next time Chelsea could play, we could be top of the league before Liverpool play. So, Mr. C Money, how's your week been? How you feeling? You enjoyed the football? Before we get into the Mudryk, it's all positive at the moment, right?
It's just a bit too positive, as I said to you, I'm waiting for the capitulation. I'm waiting for the problems, the injuries, the hate, the Reds, the reffing. It's all going our way at the minute. Football's flowing. We look great. Bar conceding every now and then. Can't help it against Brentford with a minute left. It's just what seems to be what we do. But yeah, man, smacking every team about left and right is becoming our forte, and I'm loving it. Nicholas Jackson's still my striker. And, I was ready to come on here and have another, 4 or 5 weeks in a row conversation about Mykhailo Mudryk, which it seems like we're going to get into, but it's just not exactly what I thought it was going to be about. Performance decrease in drugs and whatnot. But listen, it's going to be the scandal. It's going to be what it is. But once again, another great week as a Chelsea fan, happy, smiling, nice and wry watching Man City capitulate and flop every week. Again, it's done it again. Catching up points in Liverpool, watching Arsenal draw again. I love it. I'm happy with where we are. Everything seems to be ticking right now as a Chelsea fan.
100%. You mentioned there, you said you were keen to get into the whole Mykhailo Mudryk thing before the scandal came out. So go on then. As difficult as it is, put today's news aside, what were you already thinking about Mykhailo Mudryk?
Well, it was just, we've spent the last few weeks talking about Chelsea as a whole, and I've been growing and growing and growing in terms of my not animosity, but sort of my want to get rid of Mudryk and try and cash in on him, and wanting to see if we can try and find a suitor for him, especially in January. That's what I've been looking at, is trying to get in a nice little bang for our buck on Mykhailo Mudryk before January. But it seems like, we're probably going to end up terminating his contract and getting it done that way round and just cutting our losses without any sale actually being provisory. So yeah, man, I was probably gonna the minute that we get into talking about Chelsea and ideal lineups and how good we look and all of this, just probably delve back into what we're gonna do closer to January. And if we did even mention the word transfer, I'd probably stumble over the word Mykhailo Mudryk just by accident. So it's interesting that this has happened the way that it has. It wasn't the way I thought I was going to be talking about him. And if I was to pick players in the Chelsea club that I can guess would get done for doping, out of the 44 players, he'd probably be 39th. You know what I mean?
So bottom of the list. This is what I'm saying. My first reaction to it was, mate, if you're going to do it, at least fucking do dope that improves your game. Like, it's nuts to think that if he has genuinely, and, I don't doubt that he's tested positive for a banned substance, whether it's a false negative, the one thing that I'd be very, very surprised is just the way that Mykhailo Mudryk comes across. And while there's a certain, particularly in this country, there's a certain, perception of Russian, Ukrainian, the legitimacy of whatever, goes on over there. But that aside, Mykhailo Mudryk, he's got talent ain't enough tattooed on his neck. He's, about as God-bound as any individual. The geezer is as Christian as it comes. He's always talked about hard work, putting that before anything else. For him to come out, and if he has doped, knowingly or not, nuts. For me, like, to paint yourself, and I know everything these days is about, it's performative. People these days, their whole image is a facade. And if that was to come out about Mykhailo Mudryk and that he has put out this talent ain't enough, I'm a man of God, and he's been fucking doping this entire time, yeah, sever his contract, rip it up on the spot, get rid of him. We do not, we don't condone that. Nobody wants to see that. If it was to come out that Man City players, Man United players, Arsenal players were doping, we'd have a fucking field day. We'd be on here going, you dirty, disgusting, cheating bastards. So you know what? If he is guilty, fair play.
Keep the
He's
same
got to
energy,
go.
yeah.
But I just don't,
I don't see
get
it,
like
yeah.
you said, it's the two-pronged. I see Mudryk on Instagram, the way he acts. I just don't feel like that's a guy that would want to go and take steroids. Like what you said, his performances don't look like he's been taking any. He definitely hasn't been taking any performance-enhancing drugs. He may have been taking some performance-mitigating drugs. They definitely haven't enhanced. But from those two aside, you're just looking there and thinking, why would you do it? Well, you know what? That question answers itself, I think. Why would you do it? He's the bottom of the pecking order of Chelsea wingers as it goes. Is this a case of the only way? And, Enzo Maresca, very vocal that he needs to improve. He needs to do more. Is this a case where a player has gone, you know what, I'm taking matters into my own hands? Unfortunate timing with the test and whatever. But, I don't know. The more I think about it, the more I think he could have done something. And also, let's just say, Enzo Maresca has been very vocal about him being ill over the last 3 weeks. I'm now skeptical of whether he's ill.
No, I know. And I was going to say as well, like what I'm interested in is I want to see the results a lot. You know what I mean? Like everyone that knows me knows I'm a massive MMA guy, and drug testing is something that is huge over there because that little inch just makes a massive difference. In football, it's like it never happens. You know what I mean? Like you don't see it happen. We don't do the drug testing. Sorry, we do all the drug testing in the world in football. You'd never see players get caught for doping because that little bit wrong, the wrong tainted supplement, the wrong thing in your this or that, it's got an osterone in it. All done, bum. It's got a Renabol in it. You know what I mean? It's got anything that ends like that, it's over. You know what I mean? And these players look at these contracts and it's too much to lose. And Mykhailo Mudryk was a player that when he was brought in, the first thing everyone said that wasn't a Chelsea fan was contract talk. How are you locking this guy into a contract? Project player over 8-9 years. You can't have a player like that with that much pressure, with that much guaranteed financial income that's going to change his family's future going down the line. Pop a steroid because he's not playing. I think it's really strange. And even when you take away the personality and you just look at the brass tacks of it, it doesn't make sense why someone like that would do that unless they're rampantly trying to get in the starting lineup. But it would make sense at a Scunthorpe, it would make sense at a Port Vale, somewhere like that, with your third choice in the side, which isn't amazing. And, you want your weekly contract, but you want your goal bonuses and you want all of that stuff for Christmas. You want to make a difference in the paycheck. But with the differences in the 50 to 100 of thousand range, you know what I mean? It's like you're already making so much money that would make your eyes water. I don't see this being any more than a tainted supplement or something like that. It's just when I'm reading it up, the Daily Mail, the least credible out of all the newspapers in the world, but they did use the term like Soviet super serum. And it's just like, I hear shit like that and I just go, oh my God, he's been taking Compound V, bro. And he's been juicing out of his nut. He's in training, getting raging at people.
He's been taking that Polaris, that Gen V, Compound V, the one that fucking kills you.
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you, he's got that Bane venom. He's got that Bane venom in him, bro. He's coming out to training looking like Mickey Mouse. Bro. Nah, it's too much Top Boy, bro. He watched Top Boy and he's thinking, yeah, I need that grub style. Yeah. But yeah, no, I don't know, man. I just think that this is a massive. It's either going to be one of the biggest scandals in the Premier League history, or it's going to be much ado about nothing, a whole bunch of hubbub. And this is the thing, as Hatan said, there was a long period of time. He's away, he's injured, he's out the squad. He goes missing, and people are wondering, oh, poor him. It must be a form thing. But then out of nowhere, I wake up in the morning to a screenshot from Dan telling me, what the fuck is this? And Mudryk's been done for popping. Amir Mudryk is now a disgrace to the club. He should get sold, especially because of the problems he has caused for both us and the club. I think it's subjective. If he didn't take anything and it is a false negative, even if it is a tainted stuff, I'd forgive it. You know what I mean? I would think he's got a lot of work to do to get back into the squad, but talent ain't enough. You know what I mean? It's about the work that you put in, and a lot of people are putting in the work over him. So yeah, it's difficult.
Yeah, I think the one thing is, us waiting for him is one thing, and I don't think we have a choice. Realistically, he's signed into the contract. I don't know if there will be any stipulation in his employment contract. There should be, as with any employment contract, if you fail a drug test, we have the right to terminate your employment immediately. Will that happen with Mykhailo Mudryk? I don't know. But regardless of whether it's a false negative, regardless of whether it is confirmed or not, if we just go off track records. So the last and most recent high-profile case was obviously Paul Pogba for Juventus. Pogba was suspended for 4 fucking years, bro. Pogba was suspended for 4 calendar years. After an appeal, it's been reduced to 18 months. If we take that as a benchmark, right, and Paul Pogba said after the reduced ban was confirmed, I always stated I never knowingly breached World Anti-Doping Agency regulations when I took a nutritional supplement prescribed to me by a doctor which does not affect or enhance the performance of male athletes. That there is an admission of guilt. You took something, whether you knew it was going to be, whether you knew it was going to fuck you up or not, you took it. Mykhailo Mudryk, I don't doubt, will have to come out with a similar thing. But the news was broken by a Ukrainian publication who said that Mudryk has tested positive for meldonium, which is the same substance that Maria Sharapova received a 2-year ban, which was reduced to 15 months on appeal. The least that we are looking at now is a 15-month ban. Most likely, 1.5 years. Bare minimum 12 months. Is Mykhailo Mudryk even going to get a look in after 12 months, bro? Let's say he's banned tomorrow. He comes back in the December 2025 transfer window, right? Esteval Willian, Kendry Paez have both already joined. Sancho signed on a permanent. Noni Madueke is cooking. Cole Palmer, João Felix. Is there a way back? Let's just go on the assumption that Mudryk is out of this Chelsea team for the next year. Is there ever a way back for him?
And that was, you took the words out of my mouth. I was about to bring up Esteban. Forgot about Paez. I think that the replacement is not only lined up; it's not only confirmed. Everyone's waiting for it. Those who know. And I've been on here, as I said, like saying that I think that it's time to cut our losses and probably look for Mudryk to exit, especially over the last couple of weeks. They're not amazing performances, the here and there confidence. But now that we've got a replacement not only lined up but ready, he's going to have 6 months of football after he's come into the squad, been integrated. He's already been speaking with Reece James, who's welcomed into the club. Cole Palmer, he asked for permission from Cole Palmer to use the celebration, which I'm sure granted a lot of respect in the Chelsea dressing room. That doesn't happen, you know what I mean? And it's just, I feel like we got a player who's better, who cares more, in the same position, who's going to be able to be more effective. By the time Mudryk comes back, it's going to have to be an immediate departure. And to be honest, even if this is all much ado about nothing and it all comes out and he's able to come back into the squad, I think he's going to go with immediate effect. I think that this has cemented it, and I think that this has put the headstone onto the grave. As much as I think that it most likely is going to be nothing, and I know that that might be a bit of a hot take, especially with the other substance being found, with the Sharapova situation and whatnot. But I just think that regardless, he's gone. And I think that his tenure at Chelsea's up. And it's a shame because I like the kid. I like the talent. I like the effort, hard work. But it's too much. It's too much of a cross to carry for this club right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 ways of looking at it in terms of likely outcomes. Everybody in the comments, appreciate you joining, by the way. Coach's Corner, Hanno, appreciate you joining, my bro. Amir, Happy Hatton, appreciate you joining. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And everyone, get involved in the comments as well. Let us know what you think of this situation. But yeah, there's either 2 ways of kind of seeing this. I mean, you look at it, and I know it's different offense, but gambling ban, Ivan Toney and Sandro Tonali. Ivan Toney, the second he picked up that ban, we knew he was gone. We knew Brentford were going to cash out. They were going to look to build what they could on the team and offload him for the maximum fee as soon as he came back. Newcastle have reintegrated Sandro Tonali. Obviously, they spent a lot of money on Sandro Tonali. They are looking to reintegrate him into this team. And there hasn't been that much movement in the Newcastle centre mid. You know, Joe Linton's fallen off. You know, they've got Gomes, they've got Murphy performing. But Sandro Tonali looks like he has a fairly easy route back into this Newcastle team. And that's where I'm in two minds. I am closer to the Sandro Tonali side, whereby I see a club that has made a huge investment, 60 plus million, will not be able to recoup that immediately when he comes back. And it's going to be a case of, can he be reintegrated into this squad? Or do we go down the Ivan Toney route, whereby we look at this squad where Thomas Frank looked at Brentford and gone, you know what? We've got enough quality. We don't need him. And bringing him back into the squad, he's out for 18 months. As good as a player as he is, no player can go 18 months without playing and come back and be the same player. And Mykhailo Mudryk was not the player we needed him to be as is. So it's kind of one of those where if we were unsure already if he was ever going to reach his potential, I'm even more unsure now that after 18 months out, this could be the player that we paid 60, 70 million for. So I think I'm in split minds. I mean, you seem fairly set that you feel like he's going to be sold. John here says he doesn't really believe it as well. But to be honest, I don't think it matters what we believe. He's tested positive in an FA drug test. So regardless of whether it's a false negative, false positive, it doesn't matter. He's failed the drug test. And we've seen with Paul Pogba, Maria, so many people have failed drug tests. You'll be more versed on it than me with the UFC. If you fail a drug test, you can plead your innocence all you want. You're going down. Whether it's 6 months, whether it's 12 months, you're going down. And the worrying thing for this Chelsea squad is if Mudryk's going down, is anybody else going down with him? Because as you said, I mean, he'd be the bottom of the pile. If you look at this squad and say who's been doping, he's been the bottom of the pile. But the
second bottom, KDH. KDH is bottom of the pile.
One would be Enzo Fernandez.
Yes.
We can say he dropped his misses. We can say he got dropped from the squad. That's why he's been playing better. People are suggesting on social media today, Enzo Fernandez shares a coach with Mykhailo Mudryk. Oh my God. I think I've been fairly reserved on this stream. If Enzo Fernandez tests positive for doping, the live stream that you see will start with me in fucking tears. I don't think my heart could take that. The way he's just come on and become the player that we knew he could be. If another player in this Chelsea squad gets done for doping, I think we're in serious fucking trouble.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I think that, if one gets done, the other will definitely fall with. I'm happy that nothing has come out about Enzo, and it's just a lot of fan speculation because it's probably going to just be absolutely nothing. And also, we have to bear in mind that there is a second test to be done with a second, second sample, second vial or whatever. So if that does come out as negative, then we might have to just kind of take it in, rein it in, and maybe there is a way back, but it is just so far and few between. I can't see it being a case of this all gets blown over with an apology from the FA, particularly with that last bit. I can imagine that if it does come out that this is just a screw job, that it's going to be, oh, well, shit happens, sorry about that. Well, kind of, but not really, There's not going to be any official statements out like that. So, yeah.
When was the last time you saw an FA-issued apology? Because I can't remember one in 27 years of me being alive.
David Coote.
They sacked him. What do you mean apology?
No, I meant him apologising. I mean, if you want to count that, he works for the FA.
Fucking
yeah, do you know what I mean?
With immediate effect.
Sorry, mate, but we got to get rid. Sorry, guys.
I'm so glad. Out of all the referees, listen, Anthony Taylor, you're next.
You're next, fucking cunt.
But listen, I'm conscious. I don't want to sit here and talk negative all stream. I know this is breaking news. I know this is what we were, everyone's going to be talking about now. It's not what we had planned on the stream, because let's be honest, Mudryk aside, I don't think I've been this positive about a Chelsea team in 3 years, 36 months since Graham Potter's appointment, since before then. I have not been as positive about this Chelsea side. I don't know how much you caught of that Chelsea performance against Brentford, but let us know what your thoughts are about how are you feeling about this Chelsea team right now? Another bogey team done.
I actually disagree with this is the happiest I've been in 3 years. because this is the happiest I've been. Like when we won the Champions League, right? It was a great accomplishment. But I remember just such a frustration in that side. Do more, get more players in with talent. Tammy Abraham, what we doing? Mason Mount, he's all right, but what we doing out here? And now I look at this squad and I just see world class. Like I saw a graphic of when people were talking about people talk about Guardiola walking into super teams. Look at the team that he played in his debut, and I looked at it and I was like, Torre, Fernandinho, Aguero, Navas, Gael Clichy, world-class side. And I feel the same way now. I look at this Chelsea side, and in 5-6 years, when, Esteval's this guy and Palmer's won a Ballon d'Or and everything's kicking on and we've got a world-class centre-back, we've got John Terry regen, once all of this has been done and with that team again, we're competing for Champions Leagues and we're always going to be in the top 3 to get to the final, we're going to look at this side and be like, he didn't come into an amazing squad. And that's where we are now. We're looking at the squad and going, fuck me, what a side we have right now. Look at the players we have left and right. And in 5 years, we're going to be like, Jesus Christ, we were playing with Mykhailo Mudryk up top. He's playing at like Zagreb now, you know what I mean? He plays at like Spartak Moscow. So it's just going to be one of them ones when I think that where we are now, not only am I happy as a project, I'm happy as a total product. And I haven't said that since Diego Costa was leading the line. And I still see this as an early stage in a very long project. I'm so happy about where we are as a club right now. And I really think that this is the true sign of not only title contenders, but we're back. You know what I mean? We're back. I'm
really glad you just said that in the way that you said it, because the comment I'm about to bring up is going to split fucking brains in the chat. It is early in the Enzo Maresca phase. Very, very early. Every Chelsea fan, there's not a single Chelsea fan I know that is not smitten with Enzo Maresca. And I've got to say, I don't think I've connected with a manager like this in press conferences.
Since Jose
Mourinho. But...
yeah, I agree.
But, give him his props. Amir reckons he's already... Amir reckons he's not as good as Thomas Tuchel. Has Enzo Maresca surpassed Thomas Tuchel for you yet, or does he still have a way to go?
Thomas Tuchel did more with a worse club.
Yeah, 100%.
I would like to see what Tuchel could do with this side. That'd be very interesting. But come on now, what Enzo Maresca has done he came into the squad in a Canny and Willie. And that got answered in weeks, not months, in weeks. He said, can I? Yeah? You want to doubt me? Yeah? Bet. Watch this, yeah? Smack a team 9-0. Fair enough. I remember we lost to Servette. When we lost that game to Servette, who, by the way, played like it was the World Cup final. They have to win this game, or their parents are dead. Like, they played with blood and sweat and tears. And Chelsea were just kicking the ball about, you know what I mean? We were playing with our B team on a very lazy one, know that we were already going through. And that was the only game that I can say that we had any form of sort of capitulation, a bit of boredom about us. But ever since before then, you look at the Noni Madueke hat-trick, Thomas Tuchel probably wouldn't have played Madueke in that match. Probably would have wanted to see more and done a more practiced and well-versed side. And Enzo Maresca coming in and trying and doing the trial and error and willing to take the punishment and saying we're not in a title race yet and we're 5 points behind the league leaders who look unbeatable right now. I don't know. I think it's hard to make the call on who's better, but I think that right now with the system that we've adopted, it's hard to say that Thomas Tuchel's a better manager. The strategy that Enzo Maresca has shown and how he's fielded that and how he's executed that it's just unbelievable. If Pep Guardiola takes over the Man City squad and 6 months in, people are talking, was he already a better manager than the guy that won them the league? You know what I mean? Or like better Pellegrini or better than, it's like, no, you can't say that. But obviously you can now. Clear, he's the best manager they've ever had. And they 11 games, they've won 1. And we can still say Guardiola's the best manager they've ever had. I think it's too early to make a comment like that, but you're probably wrong.
Yeah, I think if you go bar for bar, if you think aspect for aspect, I mean, tactically, I've got to give it to Maresca, the way he tweaks the squad. Tuchel was a lot more set in his ways. Game to game, it'd be the same lineup, which I didn't have a problem with. I love consistency, but
Agreed.
Enzo Maresca shows that he is a little bit more flexible, a little bit more happy to change things around. And also, yeah, the way that he deals with the media. And this is no slight on Thomas Tuchel. Thomas Tuchel is the most we have both connected with a manager since Jose Mourinho. In 20 years of Chelsea, we've had Jose Mourinho and Thomas Tuchel. Those are the managers that I would die for, that I'm sure a lot of other players and fans in this squad to this day would die for. But Enzo Maresca, he's on a higher elevation than Tuchel. He's not there yet because, as you've said, he's got a lot of time, a lot of ground to make up. We could well flop this season, win nothing, fall out the top 4. And if that happens, Enzo Maresca is nowhere near Thomas Tuchel. But the way he is going, the way he holds himself up with the players, with the fans, with the media, yeah, I love this guy. I don't have a single thing to complain about. And the one thing that we did have to complain about is, and I'm curious to get your thoughts because I do not want to speak on this. Robert Sanchez might have just saved us the game on Sunday, bro. Give me your thoughts. 20 marks. Go.
I don't really care. He's shit goalkeeper, light-skinned goalkeeper saves. Sin City wasn't made for him. I think Philip Jorgensen is an all-round finished product. And yeah, man, even though we spoke about this before, you know, the height, the ceiling.
Save though, bro.
The ceiling is great. It's high. When he hits that ceiling, like you see him bending the head. But the thing is, he's not poking through. He's crouching around it. You know what I mean? But then when he jumps off that cliff, it doesn't end. He still ain't hit the floor yet. And Jorgensen, I can't say that about. You know, he looks like he's got unlimited potential. He could be a Petr Cech regen. He could be a Wojciech Szczesny. He could be a fucking Almunia. I don't know what level we're going to get to with him. He could be good, bad, medium. But Sanchez, he just screams Manuel Almunia to me, bro. It's like rotation goalkeeper who makes big saves every now and then. But like I don't see him as Chelsea's goalkeeper. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think that goalkeepers make big saves, but you know, shitty strikers score good goals. So, you know,
he's the Tottenham of goalkeepers in that their ceiling is they can beat the best team in Europe, but their floor is blue square fucking Premier. Like, this is the biggest gap, the biggest deviation. Yeah. God knows trying to predict. I mean, it's hard enough trying to predict what Chelsea team you're going to get, but it's even more difficult trying to predict what Robert Sanchez can give you in 90 minutes. Yeah. But it's one of those where I'm like, you know what? I hate him. I am not changing my agenda. I will not change my agenda. I'm starting to see why Enzo Maresca uses him in big games. I don't like it. I still do not feel comfortable. I'm very much with you that Jorgensen is better all round with the ball at his feet. But I just feel like Robert Sanchez, you know how Almunia used to make those stupid ass, it used to be the most basic diving save. You know what? He probably could have caught the ball, but he would take 2 steps to the left and make a flying diving save over to the other side. And it would be like,
do you understand my comparison? Do you understand my comparison?
He's in it for himself. Yeah, and he's egotistical. But you know what? When he makes those saves, man. And listen, fair play to him. His distribution was absolutely woeful at the weekend. And as Hatton says in the comments, look, Petrovic deserved more time. You are singing to the fucking choir here, mate. Both myself and Charms, big fans of George Petrovic. And I will say, he's broken into the Serbia team this year, played 2 games. I think he saved a penalty and he made 2 fantastic appearances. And ever since then, he's been unbelievable for Strasbourg. He's been, I think it's 2 clean sheets out of 3 or something ridiculous. Some great saves. His distribution's on point. I've been watching Strasbourg and George Petrovic very closely this year. And while I said a few months ago, I don't think it's a situation, I feel like it's one of those where he's never going to be able to come back into the fold. If he keeps putting out these performances, I think there's a space in this squad for him. I do think he's a very, very good goalkeeper. But we will finish. And there was, a lot of other games to talk about. Obviously, Tottenham had a fantastic start, beating Southampton. A couple of managers, manager merry-go-round going around strongly this week. Gary O'Neill sacked. Obviously, Russell Martin sacked for Southampton as well. But the big game of the weekend was the Manchester derby. Obviously, I want to say upset. On form,
is it?
When it was 86 minutes and 1-0 City, it's an upset. But before the game, to say Man United to win, it's not an upset. And one of you said the other week, I think it might be my favorite thing that's been said all season, changing of the guard. The teams that are coming up, and it is a thing of beauty. I know, obviously, we beat Brentford and Tottenham won at the weekend, so Brentford out of the top 10. But 9th, Brighton. 8th, Fulham. 7th, Aston Villa. 6th, Bournemouth. 5th, Man City. 4th, Nottingham Forest. We are officially seeing, and all credit to Nuno Espirito Santo, what he's done over there. I think he's a fantastic manager. They're a great squad. A team that we have both doubted at times over the past season and a half, saying, is their recruitment right? Have they bought too many players? A lot of what, people said about Chelsea. But it seems like the Nottingham Forest project is just working. And as a squad that's got history, one of the few teams in the Premier League that's won multiple European trophies, they've spent a lot of money, and they've got players like Murillo, who Chelsea are supposedly eyeing up. They've got Elanga. They've got Morgan Gibbs-White, Hudson-Odoi, ex-Chelsea, Manchester United, top 6 players. Is this a Leicester season for Nottingham? Is this an opportunity for them to really go, you know what? Fuck it. We're back. We can get back in Europe.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And I said this in our prediction video for the season. I said I think Nottingham Forest are overstacked and underlooked. I think that they've got a really good team, a great manager who's got a great project, and someone who, very importantly, has proven they can stick to their project and, regardless of results, play the same tactics and make them work, because he knows that they can work. And we've seen that. Nuno Espirito Santo at Wolves, get all the Portuguese kids together. Let's play Jogo fucking Benito. Let's see how it works. And you know what? It felt like every single time I turned on Match of the Day, I would see a beautiful goal from Wolves. Regardless of if they lose 3-1, win 1-0, win 3-0, they just look good. And that's what I feel like they're doing at Nottingham Forest. They're making a bunch of players. He's got a completely different profile. Instead of going for like experienced Portuguese players on the cusp of an international call-up, which seem to be 15, 16 of them at Wolves, you look at that Nottingham Forest side, you see a bunch of very young, talented players that were overlooked at a Big Six side who've come into a team because they want more time. And you look across the board, how many players does that fit the bill for? A player that was overlooked at the last club they're at, coming in to try and get some performances to make themselves look good. Callum Hudson-Odoi, perfect example. Anthony Elanga, perfect example. I mean, spot for spot, you can pick them apart. And I think that is a side that is going to win big games. And, win games against sides like Man City, or even against a side like Man United who are finding their feet. It'll be hard to fight a team like Chelsea who have proven their form, and they're, it's not form, it's class and what yada yada. But yeah, I think against sides like Arsenal who are on a little bit of a, can't really score outside of corners, that's where Nottingham Forest go in and take 1 or 3 points. I love that. I love that for them, and I think that that's a great side with great history, and it's good to have a team like that back at the top.
Yeah, I'm very, very glad. And yeah, as I said, it's my favourite thing that I think has been said, not just from you and from us, but across podcast and football content this season. It is a real changing of the guard, and seeing these teams continually play great football, real good passages of play. And as you said, Nuno has got a history of playing good football. And while he hasn't been backed, he hasn't had the opportunity to be at a big club that's had the financial the financial ability. Nottingham Forest has spent a serious amount of money, 200 mil plus. And it's one of those where you're thinking, you know what, this could be a very, very happy marriage. But
can I just say, though, it's funny. It's very funny that you said that a manager that's never gone into a big side, when this guy literally got the Tottenham job and then got ousted by his kid.
Oh, shit. Oh, yeah, but they're not a big side.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why my face went like,
how was he at Tottenham? Oh my God, bro. I fucking forgot Nuno was at Tottenham.
Yeah, that's what I mean, bro. It's like, it's Spurs' problem. It's not the manager, it's not the players, it's the club.
You know what's
ingrained
as well, because this is perfectly timed. Is Amir has put this. Enzo said he wins stuff in his second season. Are you sure you weren't watching a fucking Onge Postecoglou press conference, bro? Because I'm 99% sure that's something that Onge says, and nobody.
Onge said he's never got a season in.
Believes in themselves.
Yeah, Onge said he's never once had a season in his career where he hasn't won something in his second season.
What? Enzo wants he about to. First time for everything.
Yeah, I mean.
So Tottenham, he was appointed on 30th of June. He was sacked 1st of November. Jesus Christ. He won the Premier League Manager of the Month award in August, and then he was sacked in November.
Jesus Christ! So he had like 4 or 5 months, and then got one Manager of the Month award in one of them, and then got
4
sacked.
months
That's
as boss of
ridiculous.
Tottenham.
That is
There's
ridiculous.
a point where you've just got to say, fucking Conte, Nuno, Onge. There's a reason these managers aren't winning, and it ain't the fucking squad, and it ain't the manager. Daniel Levy, you're a dickhead. But right, Charms, let me know when you've got to run, by the way. If you've got to run, you've got to run. But let's finish here. Nico Jackson. 14 goals, in the Premier League last season in 35 games, along with 5 assists. This year, he is up to 9 goals already in 15 appearances. Well on track to make 10 in 18, which would mean a 20-goal-a-season campaign in the Premier League. Charms, do you think Nicholas Jackson can hit 20 goals? How happy are you with Nicholas Jackson? And what year is he winning the Ballon d'Or?
So I want someone, one of you guys watching now, if you got an hour, 2 hours spare, you want to do something fun, I want you to compile all of my takes about Nicholas Jackson and watch how it's gone from I want this geezer out to he's all right to that is my striker. And now, do you know who I am? That Didier Drogba too.
I would die for Nicholas Jackson. Right now,
bro. If my death would mean a guaranteed 35-goal season for Nicholas Jackson, bro, it will be the One Blue podcast in a heartbeat, bro. I'm telling you, man. I'm gonzo like ball. I'm so gone. That is my striker, my Jenny. That's my killer. And everyone talking right now about Vlahovic, and you're talking about Diesman, and you're talking about Osman and Tony Recall, and all of these striker names that I'm talking about in January. Hold it in your lips like a Woody. I want my striker up top for the rest of this season. You can hold that opinion to yourself because I am not getting rid of Jacko up top. That is my striker. He's here to stay. New celebration every week. Him and Cole Palmer, they're yin and yang. It's like watching Lampard and Drogba again. It's like I don't know which one's going to do it this week, but it's going to be one of them. And I love it. That's my boy. If I bumped into Nicholas Jackson in the street, it's not an autograph. It's not a picture. It's just a conversation because that is someone I idolize right there, bro. I want to pick his brain. I love the man. I love Nicholas Jackson, but I love the man. He's the boy.
He's finishing as well, and everyone was jumping on him when he missed that one chance. Everyone was like, "Oh, he's back to his normal." I can't understate this enough. How easy he made that finish look. You do not make a finish look that was not easy.
He doesn't make it look that easy 12 months ago. He doesn't. He misses that chance. He doesn't even hit the target. He goes wide, over the top. It's just the composure, the one-on-one threat. It's just like, he's the boy, man. It's just like, it's like Drogba, but he scores in the small games and the big games. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm so happy.
I really genuinely haven't got a thing to complain about Nicholas Jackson. I mean, last season it was consistency. Can he up his finishing, finish the big chances? 9 goals, 15 games, well on track to hit that 20. We are both very happy with Nicholas Jackson. We're both in love with the fucking bloke. Let's say it how it is. He is honestly, he's just fucking shithousery. He's just...
and I love that as well. I love the mentality.
The fact that he fucking pulled Enzo Fernandez's shirt back on.
Thank you. No one talks about this. That is someone that will die for this club. He doesn't want his midfielders.
He's got his lobe screwed on, bruv. He knows what he's doing.
Have you seen the screenshot of the guy that had a bet? He put a tenner on to make $1,000, and the last thing that didn't cash was Enzo to get booked. And you had to watch Enzo take his top off and Jackson put that shit back on, bro.
I'd be DMing Jackson 10 times a day, bro. Like you owe me some bread, bro. You owe me at least $250.
You know what? He'd probably pay you.
I'm willing to accept my stake. You owe me something, bro.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? No, but Jacko probably swing you the dough. And he's a good guy. Means a lot. He loves his team. Have you seen the interactions with him and the fans? Like, he just loves the attention, the positivity that he gets. Like, the way that the smile lights up. Last year, he looked so sad and miserable. Do you remember seeing his face dragging off after 2-2? And he would always be looking down and be like, fuck's sake, man. Like, I should have done more.
Do you know what my favourite thing? And you said that something no one spoke about. When he got taken off against Tottenham, when we were 4-2 up, he fucking cried. He cried because he got subbed off because he wanted to score. This is why my team is back. Fuck!
Oh man, the energy is so here right now, bro. We're fucking here! Ah, bro, I'm watching my team fucking back, bro. We're so in this building, bro. It's been fucking half a decade, man. I've had to watch who are the players we've had to watch, yeah? Fucking Dewsbury Hall. Do you know how many of these little fucking Oriol Romeo regions I've had to watch over the last few years, bro? Do you know how many people are busting through Cobham? I've had to watch certain, man. It's horrid, bro. I've watched Mykhailo Mudryk bag twice and thought that's the future of my club. Now he's doing packet with Palmer in them, bro. Come on. I'm gassed, bro.
Yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments, guys. Obviously, the topic of today, the place we started, Mykhailo Mudryk doping scandal. Do you think he did it? Do you think he didn't? Do you think he's going to get away with it? Or how long do you think he's going to get? But yeah, let us know your thoughts, guys. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. This has been a Two Blues Tuesday. Appreciate everybody that's tuned in. Amir, big up yourself. Happy Hatton, big up yourself. John 15, big up yourself. Hanno from Coach's Corner, big up yourself. Anybody else that isn't already subscribed, make sure to do so at Two Blues Podcast on the Instagram, on the TikTok. We will be back. I will be filming, maybe tomorrow, maybe Thursday. I'll be filming a Lone Watch episode. As we alluded to earlier, Andre Santos is currently the best under 21 in Europe. George Petrovic, the best goalkeeper in League One. We're gonna be 5 big booms! Boom! You know what I'm saying? We're going to be talking everything Lone Watch tomorrow or Thursday. And of course, you're going to have a new episode of Chopping It Up with Charms on Friday to watch as well. So guys, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Like, comment. Guys, we love you, man. We'll be back very, very soon. Up the fucking Chelsea. Oh, shit. I've just remembered. We got Europa Conference League on Thursday. Shamrock Rovers. We're going to be doing a live match reaction, potentially a preview. But we might also be doing a ticket giveaway. Follow the Instagram at Two Blues Podcast if it's a big if we have tickets to give away on Thursday. If you're UK based, Two Blues Podcast on the Instagram, you know where to be. Appreciate everybody that's joined. Up the Chelsea, come on.